Welcome to Reach the World ASAP. My name is Pastor Scott Griswold, and I'm partnering with ASAP Ministries to talk about ways that God is working to bring the gospel finally to every corner of the world and finish the work so Jesus can come home. Today I am here with Darryl Hosford, and I'm really excited to be with you because this is a special place that God has given us, that you have opened up and your sons have helped to make a place where we can share these podcasts, but also others can come and shoot various programs, even in different languages, to share the gospel. Thank you very much for opening this up, for dedicating yourself as a layman to God's work, and in so many ways.
It's been really exciting to do.
It's been very fun, and it's nice to have everything finished. You work downstairs with simple updates, helping to empower the church to have good quality websites in so many ways. We could get into that as a whole ministry. But there's something else that I see you go off to do very often, and that's work the land and garden with your sons. I'm impressed by that. I'm not much of a gardener. I want to learn. I want to get better at it. You've helped me in some ways. But I want to explore gardens and missions with you today. And there are different things, different directions. But one thing I know is you just went down to a convention, a special convention. Tell us a little bit about that, because that really connects a movement, I think, that's going on among Seventh-day Adventists.
I was really surprised that's the Adventist Agriculture Association. And if anyone's interested in this as we talk, it's adventistag.org.
Okay.
It's a website for the association. And this, just recently, they had their annual convention, and over 750 different people came.
You're kidding.
To the convention and took in classes and seminars about agriculture from all different kind of
That's
aspects.
Incredible. I was there, I think, like 2 years ago, and it was a much smaller group, so it's really exploding. What do you think the interest is? So, I mean, it's seminars on how to grow gardens, and what else? Well,
there's a professional gardening track, you might say, for those who want to actually receive employment from a market garden. So there's a lot of more, you might say, technical classes that are available for those people. So, soil science and how to market, things like that.
Okay, so you can actually learn to be a full-out farmer that can supply your own family's needs.
That's right.
Not big, huge farming, but enough to take care of your family?
Take care of your family and to sell to the community, and that's your source of income.
Wow.
So the focus isn't really the common agriculture industrial model that is so often where one farmer drives a tractor and has thousands of acres, but more food gardening, such as vegetables and produce that you would sell directly to the community.
And something your family can join you in helping to do, be a family business and a family learning time as well.
Lots of examples of that at the conference that were really precious.
750 people, were they all wanting to be full-out farmers, or what else?
I think the vast majority are just interested in home gardening for their own family.
Wow.
And all of the education that goes along with that. Responsibility, a lot like taking care of animals at the home. Well, taking care of gardens is the same thing. You have to water it, you have to weed it, you have to care for it. So there's a lot of home lessons, character lessons available in a home garden as well. And I think a lot of people are from that standpoint, that interest.
Okay, so AdventistAg.org, if people want to know more.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I especially wanted to ask you about this is because of a quote written by Ellen White a long time ago in Counsels to Parents, Teachers, and Students, page 534. And it really grabbed me because I'm working on getting ready, Reach the World Next Door, a missionary training center down in Houston, Texas. And I want to train them the best I can. So I've been poring over her writings and the Bible, Jesus' method with the disciples. And I came across this quote. And it says, "The usefulness learned on the school farm is the very education that is most essential for those who want to go out as missionaries to foreign fields. If this training is given with the glory of God in view, great results will be seen. The knowledge they've obtained in the tilling of the soil and other lines of manual work in which they carry with them to their fields of labor will make them a blessing even in heathen lands." What do you think it is about gardening that could be called the most effectual for getting someone ready to do mission work?
I think there's something special about having our hands in the soil. You know, God created man in a garden. That's the ideal that he set forth for mankind, to grow, to develop, to be interested in others, and to be interested in mission. I think there's something special there. I can't exactly tell you what it is, but I think there's a blessing in gardening.
Just what you said earlier about the responsibilities, the hard work, the lessons that you can learn really struck a thought in my mind, because the biggest issue for missionaries is their character. It's their connection with God. It's a character of integrity that people can look at and see. And so I think that's got to be huge. But what other ways would agriculture, gardening, be useful in mission work?
One thing that you and I talked about a little bit ago as we were thinking of starting this session was a lot of the diets around the world of the people that a missionary would seek to benefit, to bless, are very poor diets. And I've been over with ASAP to a mission trip, and rice is, what people eat.
Good old white rice.
For morning, for lunch, for evening. It's like a somewhat of a poor nutritional diet. And a missionary who could have the perspective of a balanced nutrition might be really a blessing to these people.
I'm sure. I've gone through the villages. I've seen them eating just their white rice, their little bit of greens, and their dried fish, no fruits, not much of anything. And I'm sure any missionary going out to the countryside like that. But what about the cities? I mean, now 50% of the world and more is in the cities, and that's growing more and more. The mission field really is in the cities in a lot of ways. What could you do there?
There is a big movement in America for urban gardening and community gardening. And I don't know of how this is spread around the world, but any spot that is available could be used.
Wow.
Even if it's in downtown, a vacant lot could be turned into a very productive garden.
That would be neat. So they'd be sharing together and coming together. What about like hydroponics, where you grow with water and minerals? That could be done inside a little slum dwelling.
I've seen some examples of that with even very simple material, like water bottles being used to hold the plants and just put it in a window. All you need is a window.
Wow. So when you care like this, I have other friends who are gardeners in Tennessee, the Dysinger families, and they have found as they take their food to the markets to sell, and as they make friends and share with them the principles of what they're doing, they're finding many secular people or who are involved in different forms of spirituality that aren't interested in Christian church are interested in these things and are coming close to them. In fact, that's one more quote that I've got here that made me think of this: the power of nature in general to draw people's heart to the God who is behind all the thousands of lessons that are there. This one's in Counsels to Teachers, page 186. It says, "The most effective way to teach the heathen who know not God is through his works. In this way, far more readily than by any other method, they can be made to realize the difference between their idols, the works of their own hands, and the true God, the maker of heaven and earth." So I think there's surely got to be many ways to connect like this, and probably to refugees and immigrants as well.
Wouldn't it be interesting to have a refugee garden? That would be fascinating.
That would be very fun. I have friends also who have done that, who've opened their yard to their friends to come, and they get to talk and interact, and then those who own the land, they receive all kinds of gifts from the gardens that the people have produced.
That sounds like a
Great
beautiful
way.
plan.
So you yourself have done a lot of gardening. What benefit has that been for you and your family?
We've just enjoyed, I love springtime. I love planting. Sometimes I plant more than I should. But I love seeing the plants grow and develop, and then the food just tastes so much better.
That's fun. And I've seen the blessing in your young men who've learned how to work, how to be responsible, and they're able to shoot all these podcasts because you've invested them not only in the garden, but in other things like equipment. And praise the Lord for that. For those out there who are listening who cannot come and work with you in your garden and learn from you, what would you suggest? Is there anything online that you would recommend that they could go and learn from by watching someone else?
A good friend of mine, Paul Dysinger, you mentioned the Dysinger family earlier, has a family ministry with he and his wife to produce material for this very thing. that people could watch either a DVD or online. I don't know all about his system, but you could go and check it out at borntogrow.net.
Borntogrow.net. That's an excellent name.
And so there are online training materials. His, I believe, is a subscription model, but AdventistAg.org is going to be having more materials for free on there, including all of the seminars from this last session that we just attended. All of those, some in video, some in audio, will be linked on that website. Excellent resource to how to start.
Wow. Well, that's a lot of information, a lot to run with. We're in the middle of cold winter, can hardly picture spring, but it's not far around the corner. In fact, I saw seeds just the other day. So I hope somebody listening, and myself included, will feel compelled forward for the mission's sake. That we don't know where God is going to call us or who he's going to send across our path right here as we further prepare. But God has a plan. To finish his work, he's growing us up, and he has a plan in the garden to use us as well. Thank you very much, Darryl, for taking time. And I hope that any of you listening, whether you have green thumbs or not, will get out there and get your fingers dirty as you dig in to grow a garden, as you get closer to the God who made all this beauty, and as you think of ways that you can use it to reach out to other people, whether now or in a mission field somewhere. I believe as we grow a garden, we can be ready and helpful to reach the world ASAP.